Hello everyone, welcome to the channel update for February. I hope everyone's January went well. We actually got snow for the first time in a couple years, I think. Actual, accumulation in two different storms. It was amazing. I'm so happy. We'll probably not get any more snow. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on the channel this month. I know for many of you, snow is like, oh god, more snow, but I like it. Anyway, we are still ongoing with Tales of Destiny and Divinity Original Sin Enhanced Edition. Both of those are near to wrapping up, so they may actually wrap up both this month, and in fact, they probably will. If anything, Divinity might go a little bit longer, but Tales of Destiny, I'm about 1,000% sure that it will wrap up this month. There's not that much left in the game. There is side stuff. It's not as much side stuff as like Tales of Vesperia and the other modern Tales games, but there is still some side stuff to do. Also, I thought that it would end around 70 videos, and it did not. It did not. It has taken me a little bit longer to do things than I expected, I should say. And even though they're in the active series, both of them have wrapped up. Spelljammer Pirates of Realm Space and Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We did wrap both of those up. Tears of the Kingdom, very, very good. Very enjoyable game. Do check that out if you haven't, either the stream VODs or play the game yourself. I highly recommend it. It was a lot of fun. Spelljammer Pirates of Realm Space, we started in December, and it went through much of January as well. It is a bad game. I was able to have fun with it despite it being bad. It is a ridiculously bad game, but it's still if you set it up properly, it's still a playable bad game, which is more than can be said for some other bad games. So it at least is playable if you solve some problems. As I mentioned in that, the first couple sessions, I had a lot of problems with freezing and lockups, trying to do combat, and that was entirely because of, I think there's a bug in the Sound Blaster drivers or something like that. Switching it over to Roland worked just fine. I don't know, like, maybe they require different settings for the Sound Blaster or something like that, but I was using the default Steam install. So the fact that that didn't work tells me that it's not just like an IRQ settings for that, because that, like, those IRQ settings are set by DOSBox, and they should be set properly. Basically, everything runs on the default these days because it's all emulated. You don't need to actually put them into different slots and everything like that. It's been so long since I dealt with the actual hardware of that, I don't even remember what any of that stuff means. But the point being is, I think there's just a bug in the Sound Blaster drivers for Spelljammer Pirates of Realm Space. Setting it to Roland worked just fine. That did take some work, because I had to go get the files, the Sound Blaster, no, the Roland drivers from a different copy of the game. Get those in there, modify the built-in DOSBox configs and everything like that. But once I did that, everything worked just fine. At least I didn't have any more crashes, and that's the key. That is the key. Because that is the biggest problem with the game in terms of just being able to play it. Like, it is filled with bugs, but not game-breaking bugs generally. Other than the one that crashes the game during combat and stuff like that. And it seems to be sound effect or music transition changes that really does it. So, if you are interested in playing it yourself, set it to Roland Audio. That's what you do. Even if you're not emulating Roland music, it'll still play through the Windows General MIDI. It won't sound as good, but it'll work. So there's that. Um, the game that Zerfall and I were playing, a Treasure Conflicts, we also wrapped that up. We are planning a new game, which we will probably be recording tonight. So look for episodes of that sometime this month, depending on how long it takes them to, you know, get everything set up, how many episodes we want to have in the can, just in case there's a risk of missing sessions and stuff like that. But that is coming up, and that should be a lot of fun. But I'm not going to tell you what game it is. In addition, this Monday we started streaming Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, and those are starting to go up here on the channel. I did play Yakuza Like a Dragon on stream over on Twitch. I did not actually bring those videos over to YouTube, in part because the quality I felt was good for streaming, but not so good for actual watching. And I didn't break up any of those episodes. If I ever do set up a second VOD specific channel, which I'm still considering, I will absolutely export all of those and put them over on that channel. But for now, I'm leaving it as is. There is a collection, I believe, on Twitch, so it's very easy to go actually watch all of that if you want to see me play through Like a Dragon, Yakuza Like a Dragon. Go over and check that out, and over on Twitch. King of the Castle, it is not currently active, but I do want to return to that because that was an absolute blast. That was a lot of fun. We only did 3 sessions because I just needed to bridge the gap between Zelda and Infinite Wealth. But do check that out as well. That was a lot of fun to play. Tons and tons of fun. And I do want to return to it. I just need to decide when to do that. Who knows when that will be, but I'm sure sometime this year I'll play some more of it. Either I'll do some one-offs or I'll add it into a rotation or something like that. But we'll return to it. Fridays is still seeing Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, which did just get a big update. All of the Pixel remasters got a big update, bringing in features that have been for since release available on the Switch ports. They finally are bringing them over. They finally brought them over to the Steam ports, which I'm extremely happy that they did. It took a really long time for them to do that. I think that once I saw that Chrono Cross got an update after a year, to fix the basically unplayable issues, the issues that made it unplayable, with the original release. I was like, okay, then they're much more likely to do this with the Pixel remasters, I suppose. And sure enough, they finally did. So the one downside to the change is that so the standard English font used is real thin. It's really thin. It's kind of hard to read at times because of its thinness. And I know that accessibility-wise, a lot of people had some major complaints about it. Like people who had trouble reading had a lot of trouble reading that. For whatever reasons, whatever the case is, there's obviously multiple reasons that could be. But you could actually rename the font package that is in for Japanese. Just change the JP to EN, and boom, you get the nicer, wider fonts that I was using. Doesn't work anymore. The game does not launch if you do that. So That's a problem. However, they did add in a quote-unquote classic font, which is basically just pixelated font. It is wider, so that solves that problem. I don't think it looks quite as nice, but that's what we'll be going with come the next stream of it. So it's updated on all of mine. Of course, I really do appreciate that Square is like, oh, Ald is almost done playing these games. Yeah, now's a good time to update. Rather than do it right before I played them. So, yeah. The other, like, a lot of it is just like there's some bug fixes, there's some feature additions. The big thing is you don't have to exit out of the game to access the bestiary, thankfully. Now, you can't check them, like, in the in-game bestiary, you can't go to the map and go to a place and see all the enemies there. So, kind of a half measure, because that's what I want. I want to be able to make sure that I've fought all the enemies in an area, and I still have to exit out to the menu to do that. I've checked. Unless I'm doing it wrong, but I'm pretty sure you still have to exit out to the menu to do that. So, a little annoying, but hey, at least they updated it. That's something. Retro streams are still ongoing on Wednesdays, although that time on Wednesday is not a good time for me anymore. So that is going to be moving. I'm thinking about waiting until I finish up Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, because once I finish that, I don't have any concrete plans for what I would be doing after that. So I think that's probably going to be a good time to do a little shake-up on some of my stream schedules. The only things that are guaranteed to not change, Monday is not going to change, and Saturday, Spelljammer is not going to change. Those are the two that are not going to change. But some things that I might do, I might play the game that I'm playing on Monday more often during the week. Um, like, okay, so it's 104 videos for Zelda there. There's a few extras that got in because of like stream breaks and crashes, computer crashes and stuff like that. But that was about 34 sessions. So that was about 34 weeks. It was most of a year, you know? I kind of feel like doing it more often might be better. The downside of that would be that like right now, if I play, Zelda and Like a Dragon, I'm breaking them up into 3 2-hour videos. Um, and putting them up on YouTube, and so that they're about 2 hours long. And that I feel kind of it gives a bit more. It's not exactly bite size, but it's a much more manageable video than a whole whopping 6-hour video. Um, so if I do more sessions of it in a week, it would be a lot harder to keep up with the stuff on YouTube in order to hop back into the Twitch stream. So like if you can't make a Twitch stream, you can right now keep up with the videos on YouTube, and then next time the stream comes around, you're up to date. So I'm not sure how I will do that. I'm open to feedback. Do you think that would be too much? How many of you actually do, operate like that? If you miss a session, do you use the YouTube to catch up? Do you use Twitch to catch up? Because you can do that too. Would that, be too much of these some of these games? Part of it is just like, if a new game comes out that I want to play that I feel works for a stream, I gotta wait until one of those is done. Whereas if I'm playing it more often, like doing 12 hours during the week, or I could even do it like 8 hours to 4-hour sessions or something like that. I don't know. like, it gives a lot more flexibility to start doing something else. There's also other games that I would like to play for stream as opposed to do a standard LP, and that kind of feels like a good position for it and stuff like that. So I don't know. You know, I would like some feedback on like how you guys like to watch and uh, you know, for those who don't make it to the streams, does it feel like you're keeping up with the VODs? Do you try to keep up with the VODs? That kind of thing. Because right now, all of the VOD stuff is kind of like live. I mean, it's not live, but it's uh, what's a good term for it? It's timely. Um, if you watch my VOD of Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, you know exactly where, like when it's brand new, when it goes up, you know exactly where I'm going to be next time I actually stream. So they're not behind or anything like that. Um, how many people feel strongly about making sure that the VODs are never behind? Because like that is something that happened with when I was uploading the VODs for the XCOM files. All of those, like, I split them up a lot and into much smaller chunks early on, but that got to be more and more of a problem as time went on. But it did mean that and I think the Dragon Quest Builders as well, the original Dragon Quest Builders, both of those fell way behind the stream content. Um, so for those who are watching, those live, how, like, did this cause you problems? Did it feel like you couldn't keep up with the stream, so you had to watch one or the other? That kind of thing. That's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. That's gonna have some influence on how I end up choosing to go forward with a stream schedule shakeup, which is not immediate because again, I kind of want to finish up Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster, because that's a good time. Like once that's done, I'm gonna keep a retro stream. I'm just gonna, it's just gonna be moved around. I'll be able to decide where I move it, whether I want to have a different, uh, what other kinds of things, stream sessions that I want to do. How many different games that I'm playing, like that's another thing. I could have like a retro and then whatever I'm playing as the big game. Like right now, like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. And those would be the two main gaming streams that I'm doing. And then once, like a Dragon Infinite Wealth or whatever game is there ends, then I'm playing something else until that's complete. Um, so right now I've got 3 games because we're like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, the retro streams, and the Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster. Um, I don't know. So I'm just kind of looking for feedback on how you guys like to watch, what you feel, is too much or too little. Like would you like to see more streams of these to get through the games faster? Um, are you having a hard time keeping up with it as it is right now? That kind of thing. So that's kind of what I kind of want to figure out before I make a change to the stream schedule, because I'm not sure what I want either. Like there's definitely a desire, like I want to play more Infinite Wealth, but I gotta wait until Monday to do it, kind of thing. Um, Whereas if I had 2 stream days of that, then it might feel a little bit, I might not feel quite that way because I may only be waiting half a week or a couple days or something in between sessions. I don't know. So give me some feedback on that. But speaking of the other streams, of course, Retro Variety, we did finish up Blackthorn this past Wednesday. So we will be moving on to, let's see, let me get my list up. So Blackthorn was a request by Nolden during the stream. coming up in the future, starting next week, will be Defender of the Crown for the NES, courtesy of Seal and Mortar. Lord Smappy requested Monster Rancher Advance 2 for the GBA after that. And Lord Canis requested Castlevania 3 A Curse of Dracula for the NES after that. So that's what we have in the queue for retro games. As I've mentioned, that is a channel point redemption during the retro streams. When I don't have a big list. Like right now, that's going to take me probably at least a few months to get through. So I don't currently have it open. But when I get down to just one or two of those left, I will reopen the retro request option on Twitch. So channel points can be used to request a game that is NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance, because that's what I have. That's the plug and play stuff. I just choose the ROM, boom, we're good to go. I don't need to do testing beyond making sure that the ROM actually works, which I do. But I don't need to do. I generally don't need to do audio balancing because the games are all running in the same thing. I don't need to do settings tweaks like I would for a PlayStation game. I don't have to go out and look for the ROM because I have them already. That kind of thing. So that's why it's those four systems. I don't know enough about I did play the Genesis Pirates Gold, but that was basically because it's kind of considered the best of the versions. I don't know enough about Genesis to really open that up to retro, but that may come in the future. But something like PlayStation, that's probably never going to happen because every single time I'd have to go out and find the ISO and everything like that, and that's just a pain in the butt. So that's why those four systems are the ones that are available. Anyway, we also have Lego building streams. I do need to go back and make some thumbnail changes to the old ones. As you can see, the very first one here on the Lego building stream, that's the old thumbnail. Pretty bland. And the new one has the banner that I'm using on other things. Gets covered up by the video number here, but the little dragon icon, which I'm thinking about moving it up to the corner because to better match the other stuff. But at the same time, it's not a big deal. But I do need to go back through and reorganize those because I do have playlists for the various subtypes of Lego sets, like the modular city sets. I made one specifically for the Titanic build, and that has definitely that got me kind of good A/B testing, because that Titanic thumbnail change definitely led to an increase in views. It's definitely led to an increase in click-through rate. Before that change, I think it was getting a 6% click-through rate, and after that, it's getting an 8% click-through rate. Pretty good. That's pretty substantial, in that kind of thing. So, yeah, I need to get off my butt and update all these old Lego building thumbnails to have the new ones, because that should help. That should help those get viewed better. So, I don't have a real ability to check some of these other ones, because I didn't have AB, I didn't have a different version of Tales of Destiny, but I should probably go through some of the, some of my more popular old ones and change those up and see if that leads to a boost. Because if so, that's pretty good. Things have definitely recovered a bit on the subscription rate. Um, so I don't know if it was just a lull. I don't know if there was just some stuff going on YouTube or what. But things have recovered somewhat. It's still not what I would like right now. We're still below what I would kind of consider a real good growth rate, but it's not that depressingly bad growth rate that I was getting, uh, later part of last year kind of thing. So I'm feeling pretty happy about that. That's definitely helped my mood and mental state and everything like that. So yeah, that's good. Um, but not a whole lot else to say on that point. And of course, finally, Saturday is still seeing Spelljammer. Um, the Prison Break adventure is essentially done now. Party is moving on to a new one. Still kind of on this whole long thing of getting home, but I think the last session created a good break point to start a new playlist. So that's what I will be doing, starting with the videos after this next session. So that's basically what's going on the channel right now. Um, with Tales of Destiny and Divinity Original Sin still ongoing. Not a whole lot to say about that, but certainly Tales of Destiny will be wrapping up this month, and Divinity, um, hopefully this month. I'm ready to wrap it up. I mean, it's 161 episodes. It's pretty long. It's pretty long, but definitely should be finishing that up pretty soon. We're close to the end. Um, Part of the reason why it takes so long is just that the game is slow paced, which is okay. I mean, it's just the way it is. Takes a while to move across the map for one thing, and uh, turn-based combat is always a little bit slower than some sort of action-based combat. Like someone pointed out in one of the Tales of Destiny episodes, had like a 10 or 12 minute dialogue with a villain boss character, and then a 2 minute fight. So like it's kind of the nature of action-based games. They do tend to be faster paced. And Divinity is not a fast-paced game, but I've definitely enjoyed my revisit to it. But that is basically what's going on the channel right now. I want to thank everyone who has been supporting me on Patreon. The names are scrolling by at the bottom of the screen. Really, really do appreciate that. Really does mean a lot to me that you guys are willing to support me. Those who are supporting me here on YouTube with channel memberships and super thanks. Um, very much appreciate all of that. And of course, everyone who subscribes and gifts out subs and uses bits over on Twitch as well. Speaking of the Twitch and Lego bits, the last Lego goal was the Home Alone house, and we did reach that. I did get it in, so it's not going to be coming this Friday because we are still in the middle of a current build, but that will be wrapped up this session, this Friday. And then, so next Friday, a week from this Friday, we will be starting the Home Alone build. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It should be a lot of fun. It's a big, big house, and I do like Lego houses, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Anyway, I want to thank everyone once again who has been supporting the channel, all of the Patreon support, the channel membership, Twitch bits and subscriptions, every like and comment. Just really does mean a lot to me, and all of that does help me continue to do this. This is an extremely fun job, and I am very grateful that All of your support does allow me to do this, but I do want to say that more support is necessary. Really is. I don't have a lot of flexibility for uh, certain funding things, and it would be very, very beneficial for more support, should I say. Um, Both, yeah, like whether or not you can do a financial support. Obviously, if you can do channel memberships, Patreon support, Twitch subscriptions. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you can tie that into Twitch and get a Twitch Prime subscription that you can give out once per month to any streamer of your choice, including me. And that, for no extra cost on your part, supporting a streamer is pretty good. Giving Jeff Bezos his money to a streamer who definitely has substantially less than he does, and probably more deserving. But yeah, it does go a long way to ensuring that I can continue to do all of this. I do want to get a new camera for the Lego streams because I'm not happy with the one that I have, but a new camera is expensive. I did just have to swap out headsets. I had this one as a spare, but this does mean that now I don't have a spare headset, so if something happens to this one, there's a problem. So I need to get another one. There's always a need. Eventually, I'm going to need to get some new computer equipment to play games. I do not have by any means the most modern hardware in my computer, and it is beginning to show its teeth. I mean, it's age, I should say. Um, it definitely doesn't have the teeth that it once did. Not that it ever really had many, but so that's kind of on my, starting to think about what I need. And there's always more Lego to buy for the Lego streams, which are just it is very relaxing and very fun for me to do that. Just have a build and chat session. Um, Building with Lego is always one of the most relaxing things for me, um, and it is a great. It really is a lot of fun to be able to share both the sets and conversation with you guys, the viewers. I had some fun conversations just this past build session as well. So do come check those out. Even if you can't support financially, showing up to streams, leaving comments, liking the videos here on YouTube, all of that goes a long, long way to making sure that the channel does continue to succeed, that I continue to grow well, and that more people can see the content. So please do, whether it's the financial side of things or not, please do what you can to support the channel. Obviously, I'm not asking anyone to do anything that they're not comfortable with. If you got nothing to say in a video, not asking you to, force yourself to make a comment. But if you got something to say, go ahead and say it. And I really do appreciate it. It does go a long way, to ensuring that the videos are successful. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for all of your support, and I hope that your February goes well. I will talk to you in the next video. See you then, everyone.